All right, going live in three, two, one. Well, this is Soaking Up Spilled Ink with Rachel. We're up to episode number 9. How are you doing this evening, Rachel?
Very well, and how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Let me just bring, there we go, so we can see
There we
the
go. Hey, buddy.
New Girl thing. So, yes, the show we're going to talk about this evening is New Girl.
hmm
Um, and the before we go too far, well, let's talk about the our affiliate link in the description for those who
hmm
want to help support what we're doing. That's NordVPN. So I've endorsed this product before. I've used this product as well. So and it's something that's uh, as far as if you're looking for some way to either hide where you're located at, or if you're trying to maybe watch. No, this is something I can't verify, but several people have said this. You may have said this
hmm
as well, Rachel.
Yes, I
Where if you
have.
want to watch shows from another country, yes, and you're blocked, you can use
hmm
that to watch it. It's very helpful in those regards. And one of the things I like to
Yes.
do is I like to hide my presence from Facebook. So I know Facebook likes to gather data. I just don't like them gathering my data. Um, so I use it to when I would log in. If I don't know if you've ever done this with Facebook or if I've said this before, but if you
hmm
log into Facebook or if you use Facebook and you don't log in after a period of time, they start making you input a code to irritate you so that you'll log in, which is really
Oh,
so whenever that code appears, I just turn on the VPN and the code disappears. So
that's
they
interesting.
can, yeah. And I know they're going to get my data anyway, but I just want
Yeah.
to limit them to a minimum. I don't like the companies gathering all my data. It's just
Yeah.
annoying.
I
So
I never even think about it. I just leave it on like all the time. I'm always logged into it. The only thing I've used the VPN for is streaming movies from other countries. I lived in Spain for a while, and some of my favorite shows, like New Girl, aren't all available in every country. So if you use a VPN, you can spoof which country you're in and access those TV shows. It's very helpful
and,
for that.
and the price that they add to the link that's in there, the price that's in there is definitely much better than if you went with the regular rates. I don't think it's quite a third the rate. It's probably somewhere between a third and a half what you would normally pay for the regular service.
It's
So which is
amazing.
nice. Yeah, and then you'll if you buy the service, then it helps support what we're doing here. We really appreciate it. So
Yeah.
okay, so let's see. Would you like to? Well, let's talk about. We don't have to rush right into things. How are you? Anything new in the world of Rachel that our viewers would like to know?
No, just been kind of running around like crazy. I have a bunch of different jobs, so and this week happened to be very crazy for all of them. Literally
Oh,
working right up until we started this podcast.
oh, okay, okay.
I was even
Any-
on the radio this morning,
Oh, really? What were you
even though
doing
it
on the radio?
seems like a long time ago. I was promoting, I work for a nonprofit organization called Literacy Connections of the Hudson Valley, and I was just promoting that on a local radio station this morning.
Would you like to promote it here? Would you like to say it?
Sure. I run Orange County in New York, and we recruit volunteers to teach people how to read and write or teach people how to speak English for the first time. Our services are completely free. No one has to pay to learn from us. And I'm always looking for volunteers. So if you happen to be in the Hudson Valley area of New York, please look up Literacy Connections of the Hudson Valley.
Okay. And if you have, is there like a website or something that they can go
Yes.
to?
We have literacyconnections.org is our website, and you can find out more information. If you're not in the Hudson Valley, but you still want to support us, you can absolutely go and donate anything that you can. Anything, any little bit helps.
Okay. And what you can do is send me a link anytime you can do it while we're doing the show if you like. I'll add it to the video description so people can click right on it. So, um, but yeah, that's as far as the and this is like ongoing. It's not like a limited thing. It's going to be
No,
ongoing for.
ongoing. We're always looking for people, and obviously, we'll take any donation you want to give us at any time.
Okay, cool, cool. I will add that. I see. I see. It looks like you sent it to me already.
Yeah.
So cool, cool.
hmm
Alrighty, great. As far as the now as far as the snow in your area, have you had any major snow or anything like that lately, or
Yeah,
is it?
we had a pretty good amount over the weekend, which nobody was happy about, especially since it fell on a holiday and we didn't have to worry about driving anywhere. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of snow tonight. And I don't know. People are saying this weekend, but I don't see it anywhere. What about you? What have you been getting?
Yeah, we're getting the snow. I think we're getting the same snow that you're getting. For my area, though, it's going to be mostly rain, and then it's going to
Hmm.
turn into a little bit of snow, maybe an inch by tomorrow morning, and then maybe
Yeah.
another 1 to 3 inches by tomorrow evening. And then they're saying on
Hmm.
Friday a little bit of snow as well. So I
Yeah,
was
people have been mentioning like, "Oh, it's going to be a big snowstorm this weekend," but like it doesn't even show up on I'm looking at my Google weather right now and it shows sunny all day, Saturday and Sunday. I
oh
see snow for maybe next week, Wednesday. Let's see. This one is weather.com is loading. This one also doesn't have anything for Saturday and Sunday. So I don't know where people are getting this from, but I've just been hearing rumors of snow for the weekend and seeing nothing. So I don't know what the rumors are from.
well, I can show you. The last snow we got was not too bad. Here's a this is an actual picture. I took it from my house. So there's my house in the
Oh, there you
background.
go.
So, got a couple of inches of snow. It's my old police car that I have parked in the edge of the driveway. I stood. I parked. I was standing right in the road. It's a private road, so it's only wide
Mhm.
enough for one car. So the road hadn't been cleared yet. So, but I went out this evening because I went to get some food shopping done in case the snow gets kind of bad this evening and tomorrow,
Mhm.
but just to be safe because I live on a steep hill and I don't want to drive up and down the hill.
Yeah.
But all that snow you see here in this picture is pretty much all gone now. So, so that's all quick.
Yeah.
This occurred on Monday. So what are we on
Mhm.
Wednesday? Yeah. So it's pretty much all gone already. So not
No,
that big
see,
of.
we got that much. I think from the looks of it, I would say we got about double that, and it's still hanging around.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, let's see. I'll bring up our question from last week. Looks like we got a pretty decent response. 1 second here. So, question was, do you like poetry? And tell us your favorite poets in the comments.
Mhm.
And overwhelmingly 75. So yeah, definitely overwhelming. 72% with yes.
Yeah.
Uh, 12% with no. 10% with I don't care, and 5% with maybe. Leave a comment. So. Oh, and we got a little survey here. These don't always pop up. It says, "How
Are you
satisfied are you with
creating
creating posts on
posts on
YouTube today?"
YouTube? I don't know.
How would
How
you say?
satisfied are you? I mean, it works. I don't know what else you could want from it.
Okay, well, how about we put like very satisfied then?
Yeah. Let's give it a little happy smiley face there.
Oh, they're asking more questions now. Please tell us why about this. Getting good engagements? Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Easy
Uh,
to use.
Reviews, true. Let's see. I
How
like the
about
feature.
everything was expected as expected? Because nothing is like amazing. It's just this is what I expect a poll to be able to do, and it did.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Thank you. Cool.
All
So,
right, so we have Christopher George, Latour
oh,
Wallace.
yeah. Before we go too
Did
far,
we read
before we go too
those?
far,
Yeah,
yeah,
you want to do newest first, right?
right. And I don't know if I told you this, but for some reason, some of the comments get hidden. I don't know why. And
Hmm.
in order to make them all to appear, you have to go to newest for some
Hmm.
reason, and then all of them appear. But if you sort it by top
Top,
comments, some of them,
right.
yeah,
Sometimes,
they
yeah,
did.
okay.
It's really weird because and the reason I discovered this is because if there's only like maybe two or three comments, then you
Uh-huh.
go to newest, all of a sudden like one or two additional ones just pop up when you do that, which is really weird. So
Interesting, interesting.
okay, so let's see.
Rudyard Kipling, Stephen Murphy, William Ernst Henley, Poe, Shakespeare, many more. Definitely love Shakespeare. Poe is all right. Uh, Alama Iqbal Ghalib. I wonder if I'm saying any of
Oh,
those correctly. Ahmed Faraz.
I'm not.
That's
I'm
an
really not.
interesting name.
I'm not really not familiar with those. Sorry.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Let's see.
No,
Oh,
most boring class.
Nazi guy.
Well, Nazi guy. That's yeah.
Let's see.
Same things that make us laugh makes us cry. A different
Next one.
language.
Can't read that.
Some that I have read and depends on the depth of the poem. Okay. Loved Maya Angelou. I've read everything she's done. Dylan Thomas was brilliant, but my favorite poem is The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I do know that one, but I've heard. What was her name? I'm sorry.
Maya Angelou.
I've heard of her, and she's
Yes,
really.
she's very famous.
Yeah, yeah. Is she? How would you rate her? Is she really good, or in your
Oh yeah,
opinion?
like Yeah, she's one of the tops when you talk about it.
Yeah, I mean it's one of these names I know, but I don't know if I've ever read anything of hers or not because I don't go to my way to read poetry. So, but
Yeah, I imagine it's probably some of those things that you've probably seen or heard, and you don't know who it's by.
okay, all right.
Let's see, Edgar Allan Poe. Christopher R. Price says Edgar Allan Poe. My favorite poem by him is Annabel Lee. Then we have 12. What is poetry? What is a poetry? Okay. I mean, that's poetry in itself. What is a poetry? That could be a poem. You wrote a poem right there. That's poetry. There you go. Allama Iqbal. That one was somebody else said as well. Then,
Oh, sorry. There you go.
no, that's okay. I can't really say any of that one. Petorfi, Sandor, Irene Llanos.
Yes. Sorry, don't know those.
No. Howl by Allen Ginsberg. Don't know that one. Allama Iqbal. That one's getting quite a bit of recognition here. Allama Iqbal.
We got a lot of international viewers here. So
Very cool. Another Ghalib. I'm assuming that I'm saying that right, but I should never assume. Yuri, Sayori, Natsuki, and of course Manika are my favorite authors. There's a little winky kind of face there that makes me I wonder what that face is for. Those names certainly sound Japanese. Another Edgar Allan Poe, Mihai Eminescu, a big writer. Tupac Shakur. There you go. I mean, hey, he counts. Rabindranath Tagore.
You got to go back. What did he do? I don't know what he did. What did he do?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, he's music. Oh, music. Oh, sorry. Oh,
I was like, you do not. I mean, I know that you don't know a lot of stuff, but you got to know who Tupac is.
Yeah, I know he is. I thought I'm thinking maybe he actually wrote actual poetry. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. I know his music. I do. I definitely know his music. Sorry.
Okay.
I thought he was actually some sort of actual poet. Sorry. I mean, he is a poet. He is, but through music. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I was like, wow, dude. All right. Ooh, that's a good name. Rabindranath Tagore. What a name. It just doesn't interest me as I think it's boring.
Oh, okay.
To each their own. Ramenstein lyrics are pretty good. Who would it be other than Shakespeare? And then we have Christopher George Latour Wallace. I don't know if that's two names or one name. And then Renegade MS. I'm not interested in meta literature. I prefer straightforward assessments of what's effectuated. We got a lot of things and a lot of different people.
Yeah, and a lot of people that you didn't recognize, which is kind of so. What is your now as far as your when it comes to poetry? How would you rate yourself as far as like your knowledge of poetry?
Oh, like I don't know, not great.
Just like an average person.
Definitely average person for sure. I mean, I have the collected works of Shakespeare on my shelves, and I've read that quite a bit. I have, collected works of Emily Dickinson and a few other random things, but I haven't like just sat down and read like a lot of different poetry.
Okay. No, I remember reading poetry when I was in. No, if you want to count like we talked about Tupac Shakur there. If you want to talk about that being poetry, then I guess you conclude a lot of music as being poetry at that point. So, in some way, so I'm going to exclude music and saying it just straight what would be considered like straight poetry, I guess. And not I don't remember the last time I've ever actually read anything. So probably high school if I remember correctly. So
okay. Now, one of my favorites, like stories in general, is Much Ado About Nothing, and that's Shakespeare.
Okay. All right. Well, how would you, as far as the, I'm actually
I'm a little surprised by 72%, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty high. I was going to say that seems awfully high. I mean, it's good. It's cool. It's great. But it just seems like I honestly thought it would be like more like 50-50 at the most.
So. Yeah. Well, yeah, I wasn't really sure what to expect on this one. 72% is surprising. 1,500 votes. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, alrighty. So, thanks everybody for participating in that one. We really like that. I like the engagement on that one. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Alrighty. So we had a question we wanted to ask for this one. What was we wanted to talk about roommates because our
Roommates, yeah, because we're talking about New Girl, so that's, 4 people shoved into a loft. I mean, that loft is gorgeous and huge, so they have plenty of space, but still. I guess I don't know how to make this into a poll question. I guess, have you ever lived with roommates? And then in the comments, give us your craziest roommate story.
okay. All right. Never lived with roommates.
Mhm.
Roommates, one word or two?
One word. Well, with 2 M's.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. I'm looking at my keyboard while I'm typing, so to excuse me. Okay. The roommates. Oh, and share with what? How'd you phrase that again? Share us.
Share your craziest story in the comments.
Okay. There we go. Comments.
Mhm.
There we go. All right. So I guess simple yes and no.
Yeah, I think we can go with yes and no, and then let's go with, do parents count?
Okay. That's a good one because my best friend when he's his parents had passed away, but when they were still alive, he actually grew older. He never essentially stopped living with his parents until they died, and he bought his
Oh.
own house, and essentially they were living in his house, and he was taking
Mhm.
care of them. So they were like his parent. They were like his roommates essentially. So,
Yeah, yeah. You have 2 R's in parents there.
oh, okay, thank you. I can't see it. There we
Mhm.
go.
And I mean, it's becoming much more of a common thing now. I mean, rent's, insane.
Hmm.
And yeah, I don't know what else to put.
Um,
Um,
hmm. I guess I could just leave it at three. I guess it doesn't have to be all more than that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's interesting. But when I was 19, my dad was like, "Get out," essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
And when my
I think
sister, she,
mhm.
remember what you're going to say there. My sister, she went to Virginia Tech, and when she got out, she didn't have any place to live, and my dad was like, really like, you're not living with me, kind of. He didn't say it like that, but basically, he did not want her living with her.
Hmm.
So he did not want her living with him. I mean, excuse me. And so she was really frustrated because she couldn't, she was trying to, she just had no place to live. But he did reluctantly let her live there, but he just really did not want. And that's you can tell my dad's not exactly the best of parents. He's not the worst parent either, but he just didn't really. He just wanted to be left alone. So my mother
Huh.
was, she has her problem. She has to live in a place where they have to take care of her a little bit. So she's not
Mhm.
unable to. She wasn't able to live with my mother completely. So, but
Okay.
yeah, it was my family. Yeah, it was my sister and just me and my sister. So basically, yeah, we had once we got to a certain age, there was no way my parents were going to let us live with them.
Hmm.
So
Oh, interesting.
I find that interesting how you say people are still living with their parents. Like my best friend, that's like the exact opposite. Like he and I were the same age. Uh,
Mhm.
his mother died in '96 and his dad died in 2004.
Mm.
So yeah, he was living with them until his 30s, 40s, not 40s quite, but yeah, his
Mhm.
30s. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
um, is that no? You're saying the rent? I mean, you're saying it's a common? Is it really that common a thing
I
nowadays?
mean, yeah, it kinda is. I know quite a lot of people. I mean, I do too. It wasn't as weird before the pandemic because I would just leave my stuff here and I would go, like, travel, like, a lot, like, a lot. So, like, paying rent on a place I was never at didn't seem like it didn't seem like a good idea. So, if I could just leave my stuff and my cat with my parents and I traveled a lot.
Oh,
Now
that's
during the pandemic, I'm not traveling a lot, so I mostly help. I mean, I also have to take care of my dad. He had a stroke a few years ago, so
mm,
but
yeah,
yeah, it just kind of helps.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have to pay rent. It's easy to travel from here. I don't have to worry about my cat or my stuff or anything like that. It was a lot better when I could travel a lot more freely. Now it's a lot more difficult, but still fun.
Mm, yeah. as far as I mean, there's no there are they very welcoming? It's like it's
Yes. Yeah.
oh that's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
always been. It's
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, with my dad having the stroke a few years ago, it's really hard on my mom to take care of everything by herself because he really can't do much of anything. And like a lot of times, he can, move around by himself fine. He can like get food and go to the bathroom and all that stuff by himself. But like he leaves the stove on, he'll leave a bunch of things on. Sometimes he'll forget to eat, and we'll have to check and make sure that he's eaten during the day. Make sure he doesn't have access to money because he's bought a bunch of things online. He once enrolled in a, a school for $15,000 that I had to reverse.
oh my
So it's
goodness.
just, yeah, it's kind of weird because like there are so many different aspects to a stroke and like how it can affect you and how it completely changes you as a person. And so it's very stressful on my mom. So she's just very happy that I'm here, but she's also like, you should have your own life. You don't have to take care of us all the time. And it's like, I mean, it's kind of balancing out at the moment because like I said, I still can travel wherever I want to, and at any minute I don't have to worry about, if the pipes are going to freeze if I travel somewhere in December, or if my cat's going to get fed or anything like that. And then I can also, help her watch over
Mhm.
him. So,
That's good. The as far as do you have a lot of stuff though? That's the big question. Do you have a lot of, or is it how would you is it enough stuff that like it takes up a lot of space, I guess, with your parents?
not really. I mean, I have so the room that I'm in now is the office, and it had just been loaded with like absolute junk for years. So once we got stuck inside, I cleaned that out. So I have basically 3 rooms for myself, except, because my brother doesn't live here with his wife. So I have his room, my room, and the office. They're all for my stuff. I have my own bathroom and everything too. So, like, I don't feel the strain of that. And it's a fairly large house. So, like, any of my kitchen stuff is either in the kitchen or in the basement or anything like that.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I've
for me,
lived in a lot of different places too. So I've collected stuff from all over, and but I do have plenty of space here as well.
yeah, for me, it'd be a little bit different. I have a collection. I have a hobby I've been doing since I've been 13 years old. I collect full size cars. So I imported 2 from Australia that are in immaculate condition, and I
That's
think I've
pretty cool.
you saw my police car in that picture, the old police car that I
Hmm.
own. And I own like 5 old Mustangs. We're both between the 65 and 67, which I don't want to get rid of.
Yeah.
They're not fully repaired condition. They need to be more, most one of them is in really nice condition, but the other ones need to be restored, but they're still
Mm.
there. And I have a couple of other cars, a 78 Ford Pinto, an old Chevy
Hmm.
Impala. So I don't want to get rid
Huh.
of, and the car I just bought like a couple months ago, brand new Challenger. I think I told you about that too. So for me, like trying to move is like really a hassle. So
Mm. And you
trying
have
to
to
move.
find a place with enough space.
Oh yeah, well that's not a problem. I have an
Hmm.
acre, so I can park everything in the back. And
Yeah, yeah, that's what we're on as well.
I have a large driveway and a big actually a concrete parking area in the back, so it works really nice. So,
Oh, that is
but
nice.
moving was it was a pain. I tried to get all the
Yeah,
cars.
because how many of those cars actually work that you can move them and drive them or are
Well,
even registered or anything like that?
I could drive all of them except for one. But
Okay.
I couldn't drive them from one place to another. I had to tow them and then drive them into the spots.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
But yeah, they were all drivable, just not drivable. I didn't want a chance, like you said, driving great distances. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, that's but for you, you have yeah, for you, obviously everyone's different. So
Yeah.
mine is always a pain, and I moved twice. I bought my first house, and the second house it was like my dad helped me move all my cars the first time. The second time he was like, nope, I don't want anything to do with it. He wouldn't even
Yeah.
he was so frustrated the first time I had to do it with my best friend, my a
Yeah,
friend
yeah.
that was but we got them all. It was just a pain, so I don't want to do it
Yeah.
again soon. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
all
I
right,
imagine. But there's also the money benefit because I mean, obviously like I help with bills and everything, but I don't have to worry about rent. I mean, that kind of thing. I have been able to, open an investment account and start that off really nice. So like, because I don't know if I'd want to, rent. My boyfriend and I have talked about buying a house, so
Hmm. What's
this way I get to skip doing that. Renting, I
Oh,
mean.
I see. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you don't have to deal with. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so it wouldn't be beneficial at this point for you to actually own a house, is what you're saying. Is that right?
Oh no, for me to like rent something when we could just look into buying property, which would be a better option than renting, I think.
That's what I would think. But since you're on your if you're moving around a lot, I you know
Well, yeah, so that would have to be after that. But I mean, like I said, well, if I'm with my boyfriend and if we both go in on a house together, then he'll still be there to take care of the house. He doesn't get as much vacation time as I do, and I still like to travel solo, whether he's with me or not. So either way, it works for me. So yeah,
okay.
I'm glad he
Well,
doesn't listen to this, even
we
though
got
he knows I love travel. So
we got Pablo saying Alexander.
hmm.
So Pablo de Delgado is saying Alexander. Okay, thank you. Not sure what that means, but thank you. So, okay, let me go ahead and post this question. I want to
Yeah,
ask you. Looks good. Everything looks good.
yeah,
Okay, cool. All right, there we go.
totally.
All right. So we can get into the show now. So
Yeah, let's go for it.
this is show I you recommended this. You said you've watched how many seasons? Like is there
There are
six?
7 seasons.
7 seasons. 7 seasons.
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of people aren't super happy with season 7 because it was kind of like they wrapped up season 6, but everybody was like, "Oh, we should get one more. We should get one more. We should get one more." So they ordered a few extra episodes for season 7. But it's not needed for the story, and it's only okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Now
my
the
picture went away.
the picture went. What happened?
Oh,
What
I
happened?
see it. I'm sorry. It vanished for me. I don't see it. But when
Okay.
I'm in full screen, it went away, and now it's not. So
Okay.
sorry.
The yeah, let me bring up. I'm going to bring up the episode here so we can comment.
So,
Okay, I'm gonna add this up here. So here I'm gonna bring this up so we can see this. Yeah, I told you that that here we go. That I had never seen the show before, but then when I looked it up, I was like, oh, I had seen segments of the show before. So
Okay.
so I never, but I never watched an entire episode. So I knew of the show. I
Mhm.
didn't know what it was called. I knew that Zoe, and you have to pronounce her name for me again because
Deschanel.
Deschanel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel. I've always liked her and things that she's in. So that's why
Mhm.
I was probably watching some random clip or something on YouTube, and that's where I saw her come up, and I was like, oh, okay. And then like I said, I knew the show existed, didn't know what it was called, and with the little segments I saw, I thought were enjoyable, but I didn't watch it all the way through. So
Okay. Okay.
until this is the first time I ever watched like a complete episode from beginning to end. So I watched the first episode, the second episode, and part of the third episode.
Okay.
And that's all
Cool.
I've seen.
Yeah.
So now
Her
the
little opening monologue thing, I always just love it.
oh, does she do that for every show? Is that
No. Just this episode. No, she definitely
okay?
doesn't do it every show, but just this opening to the whole show. I don't know. Am I allowed to like say it? Like we won't get in trouble for me saying it versus showing her saying it, right?
No, that's fine. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
mm,
because she's
it's
like, so in horror movies when the girl's like, "Oh my god, there's something in the basement. Let me just run down there in my underwear and see what's going on in the dark." And you're like, "What is your problem? Call the police." And she's like, "Okay," but it's too late because she's already getting murdered. Well, my story is kind of like that. I just think it's so like such a funny little start to it.
does
And
she
then
break the fourth wall on a regular any kind of other basis of any kind,
no, and I
or
don't know if this is exactly breaking the fourth wall because I mean she is looking into the camera, but she's mostly talking to the guys sitting on the couch.
oh, is she? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're right. Oh, gotcha,
Yeah,
that's
she's
right.
talking
Never
to the guys sitting on the couch. Technically, they're behind the camera.
okay, never mind.
Yeah.
It's
And then she's
I've
in the
read
cab. She's coming home to surprise her boyfriend, and she's wearing just a trench coat. She's naked in the trench coat. Now she's doing her little dance for her boyfriend and not catching any of the signals of he's definitely not alone in here.
yeah, that was pretty obvious. It was
Yeah.
like so obvious. I mean, I mean, she did have her head turned around, but it was just so blatantly obvious there.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, he seemed super awkward. And there she's singing, and there you go.
yeah, there's yes. Okay. So now this is what sets up the premise for the show. She's
Yeah.
breaking up. Yeah, and
Yep.
so the premise of the show, for those who don't know, how would you describe it? Basically, roommates with her and three other guys living together,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. She needs a new roommate and she finds three other guys. She first moves in with Nick, Schmidt, and Coach.
Oh, you say first. So does that mean it changes as the show progresses?
Even in the second episode, I think Coach isn't there already because
Yeah,
it's
this
first
house.
it's yeah, this is Coach. Yep. At
Okay,
first
yeah,
it's
because
Coach, Nick, and Schmidt. And then Coach leaves. Basically, in the story, he leaves because I think, moved in with a girl or something. And in real life, he took a job on the show Happy Endings. Like, he put in for both of them, and he filmed the pilot with New Girl. And I think Happy Endings got picked up first, so he went and signed on with them. And so they
oh,
switched him out with Winston in the second episode.
okay, I did
But
notice
he
the second.
does come back eventually.
Okay, I noticed it was a new person on. So yeah, okay, thanks for explaining that. So
Hmm.
I wasn't sure. To be honest, I wasn't sure if maybe they're trying to say it was the same because sometimes they'll
No,
sub. If the pilot episode, they'll have one actor and then like come back and it'll be the same character but a different actor. So
no,
uh,
no. It's definitely it's a different guy. And Coach Will does come back
right,
a little later.
okay, all right. So the intro, I like the intro. The one maybe is it a different intro every time
There
because the
is
intro.
no, I don't know this intro, to be honest.
Okay, the one I saw is where she was standing behind like an oval.
Yeah, I have. This is an interesting intro. I wonder if it's from where you downloaded it. I wonder if that makes the difference.
It might. But the second episode I got it from definitely had the other one that it's like an oval and she like
Yeah, she's standing behind the photo frame.
and
That's
that's
the
the
one
most
that they usually use. Like I said, I've never seen this one. It must be just where it got downloaded from.
okay. Interesting. Alrighty. So
Yeah.
this is the interview kind of guy.
Yeah, talking about, let's see. They're, talking about just different things. It's funny. I saw your head on Craigslist and I thought you were women. And it's like and Schmidt's like, "Why would you think that?" And Nick's like, "Schmidt wrote the ad." And she goes, "I guess it's the words you used, like sun-soaked and beigey." And then the guys are being jerks, trying to flex and show themselves off because, they're dudes, and that's just what they do. And as you get to know them better, this is definitely how he would react to any situation and often does because he's Schmidt.
Which
Um,
it is which one now? I'm sorry. He's
Schmidt is the one that's about to put money in the douchebag jar, the shirtless one here in the middle.
okay, thank you. Okay,
Schmidt,
thanks.
yeah.
Okay.
And they have a douchebag jar. So anytime he said, usually it's Schmidt, but other people have had to put money in the jar for saying something really douchey and stupid. And the thing that got him a jar is this is LLS. Ladies love Schmidt. And Coach is like, "What did you just say? Go put $1 in the jar right now." And a lot of times, like, they'll just say jar to a whole bunch of stuff. And like that goes throughout the whole series to random terrible things that he says, just jar. This is a little flashback for Nick, and this is Caroline breaking up with him. That's his big ex at the moment. So he's also going through kind of a breakup at the moment.
Right. And then the later episode, like the third I think it's the third episode. Wait, it's definitely not this one.
Hmm.
He tries to get he's trying to use Zoe's character to pretend
Jeff's.
if you pretend that they're like they're dating to
Yeah, Caroline a little jealous and all that kind of stuff.
yeah. So and then
Yeah.
I I got to the point I think where like he was actually talking to her and I was like, oh, he felt like he was gonna get back together with her. And it turns out she says, oh no, I have a boyfriend now. And
Yeah. Yeah. That's I think that's the third episode.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because I'm pretty
It
sure it's
has
the
to
one.
be the third episode, yeah.
So and the so as this one goes on, basically this is just how would you describe this? Like an is it like an intro, so to speak, I guess?
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It's a good introduction to each of the characters and how they react to different situations and everything, you know. Jess is doing her usual breakup thing of, you know, watching Dirty Dancing and crying and eating terrible food. And I really like this part too, because she's on the phone with her mom and she's like, "They're not murderers, mom. It's fine." And she's like, where is it?
he says something. I feel
Yeah,
like he's
he says,
what
where
was it?
is her mom there on this one? She's like, "Are you gonna murder me?" And Nick says, "Yes, yes, I am." And she goes, and she goes, "See, he said no."
Yeah, there's
Yeah. So
now now as far as the as the show progresses, the 2 that are here now, obviously you said the other guy had left and comes back. How did these
mhm.
guys stay pretty consistent as the
Yes,
show?
they're there the whole time,
Okay.
along with her.
Well, obviously, yeah, I guess because she's the main character, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. I guess that was pretty easy to
Well
sort out,
well,
but yeah.
kind of. I mean, there's an exception to that rule. I don't know if there's a show that came out in the 1970s called Welcome Back, Kotter. I don't know if you're
Mhm. Yeah.
Gabe Kaplan, the comedian, he was the main character of that show, and he got forced out of his own show. They still called it Welcome Back, Kotter, and he wasn't in, like, the last season of the show, so
I
that's still
mean,
got me.
she does vanish for like a few episodes in season 5. Mainly you can see before she leaves that she's like heavily pregnant. And then they do a whole thing about she's sequestered in a jury, so she's vanished for like a few episodes of season 5.
Oh,
But I mean,
and she was
I imagine they did the whole sequestered in a jury thing so that they couldn't interact with her at all while she was, you know, away.
mhm.
But they do that too.
She was Zoe pregnant in real life? Was that a
Yeah,
real
yeah.
Okay, I see. They can usually okay, so she had to be off for the pregnancy, I got that, but
Mhm.
they can usually hide that stuff pretty well.
Oh,
Was
yeah,
it
they did, and, I mean, obviously, as the season progresses, you can, like, see all of the tricks that they use, you know, like giant purses, weird clothes to cover it, but when she, like, had the baby, I mean, they obviously couldn't use her at that moment, so
right, I
she
got
was
you.
out for a few episodes.
Okay, makes sense. That's
Yeah, now
interesting.
Schmidt is talking her into going out, like, "Let's go out, let's go drink."
Actually, I got a question for you. So
Yeah.
I find it interesting because, as far as that, why didn't they just put the show on hold? You know, they because, they could have just put it on
They
and then
could
it came
have, but they chose not to for some reason. I mean, it worked. I don't hate that season. It works great.
okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. So, yeah, this is where no, wait, what was going on here again as far as
Schmidt is trying to talk her off the couch, trying to get her interested. Let's go out. Let's do things. It's going to be great. And now Schmidt's talking about how he needs to go out. He needs a drink. He wants to go to this party. And he knows that Caroline will be working at the venue where this party is. So he's trying to get Nick to talk to Caroline to let him and Schmidt go to this party.
okay. Alright.
Yeah. And Nick obviously does not want to talk to Caroline because he drunk calls her all the time.
Yeah, with the
Just still not comfortable in her new place is showering with a bathing suit on.
yeah, I was gonna say it was showery, but she walked down, she's not wet or anything.
Yeah, she hasn't yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, nothing, the hair, that doesn't look anyway.
Yeah,
I
their
was
hair never usually gets wet when they shower in this show. I mean, it's probably just kind of annoying to do all the time. But, yeah. Oh, and
okay.
this is and the outside of the bar there will change. Like, that is just a pilot episode thing. The bar is a lot sketchier looking on the outside in later episodes.
Oh, okay. Is it
Yeah.
supposed to be the same bar, or is it a different
It's the
bar?
same inside, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
But the outside, they use a different outside location. And Nick works at the bar here.
Okay. I saw him at I remember him being behind the counter there.
Yeah.
So Nick
So
and
now she's trying to flirt, and now they're talking to the douchebag guys um about the party. And he's like, "Are you totally coming to the party? You have to come to the party. Oh, are you not going to be there?" And Schmidt's like, "I'm definitely going to be there." Oh, Benjamin and I can't remember the other guy's name. I know it's Benjamin and somebody else. I don't know. Paul, I think.
Hmm,
Benjamin and Paul.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Benjamin comes back every once in a while, being a douchey self, and then Paul is just around for like this episode.
Okay. All right. So
Mhm.
and she's wait, what was that?
That
Oh,
was a
that's
flashback of her
yeah.
trying to be cool at a party, and she was very much not.
All right. So let's see. Move forward. Uh,
Yeah.
anything interesting about this conversation between the two of them?
Just telling her to go, go for it, be exciting, take the chance, and just yeah, just go for it, take a chance, have fun.
We got Bane Link with hello back.
Hmm. Hello,
Yeah. Okay.
glad you're joining us for our fun little conversation.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of sniping again, and he's begging Schmidt's begging Nick to call Caroline to get him into the party.
Right. Now this guy right here, this is the he turns out to be a real jerk.
Yeah, yeah.
At
Well,
first,
him and the other guy are both real jerks.
oh, okay. I don't remember the other guy. What did the other guy? What the other guy was?
Oh no, he's just kind of a douchebag in general. He's around every once in a while, just kind of being a jerk.
Okay, so not in this episode.
No, no.
Okay, that's why I didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah. So she's like, I got a date. It's gonna be awesome.
And
And Schmidt's congratulating her on her little date. And yeah, and then she goes to be weird. And here we get introduced to Cece, which is Jess's best friend.
uh,
And Cece is a main character and is here throughout the entire show.
okay, I didn't really like her character that much in this show. I like the other characters. Hers was kind of cocky a little bit. I don't know. So
Yeah, she has a few rough edges, but she grows on you.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
The other characters I definitely liked in this, but hers, like I said, just didn't seem
Yeah.
I don't know. It's maybe because she was like she came across as like these guys are beneath me sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she starts out a little bit like that, but um she kind of melts a little bit after a while, and she's also kind of like making sure they're, gonna be like gentlemen and good guys to her friend because she doesn't know these three dudes and her best friend just moved in with them.
Okay, okay. So all right. Why does he take his shirt off?
Because he's Schmidt and he's trying to be sexy and he thinks that's sexy. He's
Okay,
just he's just being really dumb and the other two are like, you're such an idiot, dude. And he definitely is.
okay. Okay, so she fell over because she couldn't walk
Oh,
in her
Nick is
heels?
like,
That's what
"Don't
she
do it,
said,
Schmidt,
something to
don't."
that effect.
Oh,
You
uh,
there? Oops, I think we might have lost you. If you're there, I can't hear you. Oops. Let me see. Let me see if I got a live stream here. Give me a second. Looks like I've got a good connection there. Looks like we lost Rachel or oops, don't want to see that again. Get out of there. Oops. All right. Well, hold on a second there while we try to bring Rachel back. Are you there, Rachel? I'm not hearing your voice. If you're there, if you're able to hear me, try to disconnect and reconnect again. See if that works.
So, in horror movies, get out.
There we go. I accidentally closed our window there. Oh, there we go. Are you there? Oops. Hold on a second. Okay, there you are. Are you there now?
yeah. Sorry, my internet went out for a second.
No big deal. No, we were all good. So, okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, I left off. I said something like that she couldn't walk in her heels and she tripped over or something, but we didn't.
Yeah, she's not. I mean, which is weird because she wears heels and other things, but the heels that she was wearing, I guess, were too high. She's wearing heels and other things, but she's trying to dress up for her date. And yeah, it's not great. So then they switch dresses, they switch outfits because Cece's just trying to help. Jess not look like such a mess because Jess does kind of look like a mess sometimes.
Mhm. And she didn't have anything else she could have worn. She didn't
I
have.
mean, all of her dresses you'll see as if you watch more, they're more cutesy than sexy. She has a
Actually,
lot more stuff that's like cutesy.
Yeah,
So
that's I have seen that because I told you I'd seen little segments here and there. So yes, I
yeah,
know I've seen a lot of a lot of the segments with those. So yeah, just
yeah.
little things are like maybe not like 20 seconds worth, and I'd watch it and I'd move on. Yeah, I have seen.
Hmm.
So I know what you're talking about. So
Yeah.
okay.
So then she's telling the guys that she's been texting him, and Nick is a little like, "Oh, you've been texting him?" And she goes, "Yeah, is that a problem?" He goes, "No, it's nice." So then they go to the party and they realize that he's talking to Caroline. He's being kind of suave a little bit. And it's doing pretty well with her here at the moment. Um, and this actress, the only thing that else that I'd seen her in was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and like Charlie is like always after her. She's the waitress. So like her as Caroline, I can't stand because I don't like the waitress at all. And It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So like I try and separate them out, but I never liked her just
Oh,
because like
oh, because of the character she played, but she's just
yeah, I mean I know she's good at like obviously that's a sign of a good actress, but still it when I look at her I see that and it bugs me. But I try not to put it together in my head.
My dad does something similar. The woman in oh yeah, she's a well-known actor. In the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire that she played
Oh,
Kirsten
yeah,
Dunst. My
yeah,
dad, he keeps on saying he'll say, "Oh, she's playing all these like slutty type characters sometimes." And I said, "Yeah, but she's just acting." So
yeah, yeah,
he says, like only good movies she's ever been in were Spider-Man and something else. I said, yeah, but she's just acting. Come on.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, my sister can't stand Alec Baldwin. She doesn't remember what she saw him in that made her hate him, but she can't. I've been trying to get her to watch 30 Rock because I love 30 Rock, and she likes it and it's funny, but Alec Baldwin's a main character and she really hates him, so it's hard for her to watch.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So
So things are going well with his conversation with Caroline, and he's like, "Let's get a drink." She's like, "Well, we can get a drink, we can talk." And then he asks her like, "Why did you break up with me?" Because, he was having a little conversation with Jess, like that was the worst part, that he didn't know why she broke up with him. And she was like, "Honestly, I didn't know you cared until we broke up and you couldn't handle it." And like things like that. And he was like, "All right, fair enough. Let's get that drink and talk."
I don't know if it's. I wish it was that simple for me in some situations. I don't think it's ever been like that. Usually it's like
Yeah, I know, I know.
yeah, but okay. So we go here. Let's see.
Yeah, and then wait, we
He
missed
like
the spot where he sees the other guy that Jess is supposed to be going out with. And I don't know, it's like I guess it's a really quick. There it is.
that
Nick's
him?
talking. There he is. Yeah. So Jess is supposed to be on a date with him,
Oh,
and
right,
he's at
right.
this party instead. And
Yeah.
Nick is like, "So did you show up or did you call her?" And he's like, "Yeah, right, I called her. She was texting me so much. I just like I couldn't handle it." So he's like decides that he's gonna go and see Jess at the restaurant because he's not gonna let her be there by himself. Oh yeah, he goes, "Oh dude, she texted me like 7 times, like long ones. I just wanted to hook up." And Nick is like, "So she's waiting for you to show up or did you call her?" And Peter's like, "Yeah, that's what I did. I called her." And then they're like, "See you inside." And they're just gonna go bail and leave Jess like sitting alone at the restaurant.
And that's when the three of them decide they're going to go support.
Yeah. Mostly Nick and Coach when Schmidt has to be kind of pulled away from his party that he wants to be at.
The woman back here.
Cowboys and Indians. Yeah, he's like, "Oh," and then he decides to go with the other two.
All right. So, all right.
Yeah,
So,
and she asks if there's anything else
but
free, and then
I gotta say,
they all show up.
yeah. Before we go, these guys just met her.
Yeah,
So
they did.
I mean, this seems like something that would happen if they'd been friends for a while. You
I
just met.
know, and like, there's a there's something I could say about it, but I mean, it's technically kind of spoilery, and I don't know a show that started in 2012 if you can give spoilers, but still, I mean,
That's 10
it's
years old.
just
So if you want
yeah,
to,
it's so
I don't.
sweet for me because like Nick is there for Jess from the very first minute they meet, and like he never ever lets her down, ever.
Okay. And
And I
that's the
just
guy. That's the guy that's
the
closest to her.
first one, yeah, the closest one here.
Okay. Is it just simply always a friend situation, or is
No,
it? Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah,
Just curious. Alrighty.
yeah.
I was kind of see that's the thing I was kind of curious about. Three guys and a woman, and like the woman's single, and it's like I'm thinking to myself, and Zoe is obviously very attractive. And I'm thinking to myself,
Hmm.
when it seems like at one point something's going to happen, there's going to be some sort of attraction there. So
Yeah. And actually, like in the beginning, these two weren't Nick and Jess. They weren't allowed to be very close to each other in scenes because they just had such a strong chemistry that it was like crazy. So the director and everything would keep them as far apart as possible in the beginning in scenes, like still far apart, but like not making it obvious or weird because they just had such on-screen chemistry that like it would draw the eye and everything else wouldn't, it was crazy. So they had to stay apart
I'm
when they
sorry,
were
which two characters? I'm sorry, say it again. I'm sorry. I
Jess and Nick.
on there.
So
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Zoe and
yeah, yeah.
I've forgotten his real name.
So, but as the show progresses, I assume that they get more closer. I guess as far
Yeah,
as
they do get closer, and but yeah, so it's just in the beginning they were like told to stay far apart from each other because they just had such very strong on-screen chemistry and it was distracting to the story.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah. And
all
she's
right.
upset and they come and they sing to her because like and they bailed on the party for her and she's sad and crying because it's so sweet and then they
Yeah.
start singing the song from Dirty Dancing and I just love it. And then obviously they get kicked out of the restaurant.
Yeah, that's very
You need to leave.
I have a feeling that I think the way the waitress comes over, whoever she is, her
Uh-huh.
attitude's a little too strong. I think she might fumble, but I don't know.
Mhm.
She was just a little too like aggressive in her the way she.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like tell them to like sit down and like be quiet or something, but kicking them out, that's too much.
So,
And then they all end up watching Dirty Dancing.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So that's episode number 1. So how would you rate this episode? And how I would say rate it in relation to the rest of the series. Like, and how does it relate? So as
Oh,
from
I mean, it's pretty on par with everything. I mean, obviously the actors and the characters get more comfortable with each other as things go on, but honestly, it's all pretty good. It sets up the show really well, shows you the personalities of each guy, shows you Jess's personality and the things she deals with. Um, so it's pretty on par with the rest of the show.
okay.
As far as how I would rate it overall, I don't know. It's hard to be impartial on things like this because I just love this show like so much. I
Oh,
watch it
really?
a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you really seem to know everything that's going on as far as you don't. I don't know sound up, and you know exactly what each person is saying. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do have the transcript pulled up just in case, but
oh, do
I
you?
do know
Oh,
most
okay.
of this. Yeah, I do know
Okay.
most of it. I'm not that good, but close.
All right. So, yeah. So, I'm sorry. How you didn't give her a rating, did
I
you? I'm
didn't
sorry.
give a rating. I don't know. I want to be impartial and fair, but I still want to give it a 10 out of 10. So I can go 9 out of 10 for the fairness sake, but still love
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Well,
Where would you land?
it didn't interest me enough to want to watch the show, but on a regular basis, but it was still okay. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't give it. I would not give it a 10 for sure, but I would say
Okay.
maybe a 7 out of 10. So as far as
Not bad.
so it's uh, also what's pulling is I also like I said like the Zoe a lot. So and so
Mhm.
so anything she's in, I'll tend to watch just for the heck of it, just because she's in it. I've always liked a lot of things she's in. She's very good
Yeah,
actress.
she
So
really is. She's kind of like a chameleon too. And some things it's like doesn't even look like her. She's like really good at blending.
yeah, yeah. There's some pictures of her on the internet that I saw where she was like wearing dark clothing and she was like I couldn't even tell it was her. So I know
Yeah, and like in Elf, she looks completely different than she does here. And even in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, she looks really different. It's so interesting. She's really good at that, like becoming a different character.
Right. But well, she has a sister that's also a famous actor too, right?
I don't remember.
Let's see. Whoops, I don't do that. Hold on a second. I'm trying to bring something else here.
Yeah. Oh, right. Emily Deschanel. Yeah, she's in a lot of she's in more like primetime stuff.
Okay. Because my best friend and I, we were debating which one we liked. He said he liked the sister. I said I like Zoe better, and he liked the sister. So he was like, "You like her better?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" No.
Yeah.
I was trying to find before I get too far. I was trying to find that one image I saw where she was wearing all dark. It's really, really different. If I remember, I read an article where it said she had gotten maybe separated or divorced or something. I don't know. I don't keep up with personal lives, but and anyway, she dressed up really dark. And it was just a very, like you said, it's just I wouldn't have recognized her unless I realized without the caption below. So whatever it was. But anyway, I can't seem to find it. I'm looking on another page. Well, we can skip past that. If I find it, I'll bring it up. So
okay.
Let's see. Ray Fawn, can't pronounce the last name, says hello with little hand pray. So hello back.
Hello.
All right. So as we go up to the second episode, as now we've established who the people are, and I will say it did seem it was a good story, but it did seem kind of strange, like I said, that they were so willing to help her out, even though they just met her, they were wanting to cheer her up and everything. As it goes on, it seems like they're very much like, yeah, we're your friends, we're going to help you out.
Yeah, they are genuinely good guys.
Yeah, but it seems like the friendship is a little like they've known each other longer than they actually have. That's it seems
fast
it's fine.
Friendship.
Yeah, it's fine, but it just seems like they're too friendly, too quickly, too fast. That's all.
Okay.
But no, other than that, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. So
yeah. And there you go. That's the good opening.
Yeah, that's the one I was where she's in.
Because she has her, she has her own band, so she does the.
Oh right, I've seen her. I saw one of her music videos. So yeah, I didn't realize it was her own band. I didn't realize that, but
She and Him, I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's trying to decide
decide poses where he should sit in the bedroom, and so he can impress the new girl coming in that he's got coming in, not her obviously, but and then they just make him run through all of the positions like 3 times just because they think it's funny watching him bounce around.
Right. And and then she was she's a teacher, right? Is that right? Is that what her profession is?
Yes, she's a teacher. She's a grade school teacher. Yep.
Oh, okay, because I remember her throwing that in there. I think this was the scene where she said she was a teacher, if I remember correctly.
No, she says it in the beginning. She says she's a teacher and she'll bring home a lot of popsicle sticks and arts and crafts stuff. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this stuff here is for her teaching?
Yeah, it's a little science project thing, I guess. She's got planets and stuff.
Okay, so here's the intro.
That's the regular intro.
Okay. And it's like kind of this comical thing where they just kind of walk away.
And they just kind of walk away.
Yeah. That's the one that's used for all of them, except for the first one that we saw here anyway.
Yeah. I think they use it until season 5 or something, and then people are like upset that they stopped using it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the point of
she's making breakfast.
I saw her name in the credit. Was it something? Does she do something else besides?
She might be an executive producer or something, or it's just their names going across the screen.
Yeah, I want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, there she is.
Yeah.
Right there, producer. Okay.
Oh, she's making breakfast for Winston because she's like, I'm excited to meet him, and Nick is like, no, Jesse's sleeping. He flew in late. We took him straight to the bar. He got super drunk, screamed, I loved America, and now he's passed out. Let him sleep. And she goes, guess I'm not the new kid anymore. I'm just one of the guys. He's like, no, Winston lived here before Coach did. So she still goes in there and freaks him out. because he is super hungover and super tired.
And so this is our introduction to him.
Yeah, our introduction to Winston. And Winston is the one that changes the most. He's a little bit more serious in the beginning, and he gets very silly, like, but in a fun, like, cute way. Just kind of like he just turns a little bit differently.
Okay. Nice. The I didn't really, his character didn't really seem to stand out in this one for me.
Yeah, no, he doesn't really come into his own right away. And she's talking to him, she's getting clothes from Schmidt's like girl box because she left a lot of her stuff at Spencer's house and she hasn't gone to get it yet. And
Right.
then she's playing with the guys and trying to play with a basketball and breaks the TV.
Oh, that's right. Okay, this is where the TV breaks. Okay, because I missed that. I was trying to figure out because I knew they wanted a new TV and I was trying to figure out. Okay, this is the part where I missed. So,
yeah, she playing with the ball and smash the TV.
There we go.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay, that's the part I missed altogether. Okay, so this is the episode where they're going to get her stuff back from her.
Yeah, going to get it back from Spencer. Yep.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, all right. Anything else?
No, they're just basically like, we need a TV. We have to have a TV. And she's like, I have a TV at Spencer's, but I can't go see him. And they're like, you have to go get that TV. You have to get this TV. We need a TV. They're basically all just freaking out because they need a TV.
Is that a TV though? Is that? It looks,
the TV.
It's not a big deal. It looks like almost like it might be like something that's made to look like a TV because I don't see anything behind the screen. It looks like it's a glass.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a big deal. It just doesn't look like a TV at first. Anyway, it's not a big deal. So anyway, we have a TV. All right. So
here's she goes to try and talk to him, and it doesn't go well at all.
He does that hair wave.
Yeah. He's so ridiculous. And she's like, he's a wizard with his whole beautiful long hair.
See, no, as far as the I'm trying to avoid tossing it here. But yeah, I wanted to show this scene real quick. Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Yeah. She gets distracted by his beautiful hair.
Now, is he a regular in the show?
No. We see him a few more times in the first season, and then he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of a not really good person for the most part.
No, he sucks. Okay. Spencer sucks a lot.
Yeah, because he didn't come across as being obviously with the two-timinger and everything, and so.
Yeah, no, he definitely sucks.
Okay. So.
Me.
I don't remember what they were doing here.
They're just kind of talking here. Let's see. Basically, like, Winston is trying to like intimidate Schmidt a little bit to try and make him think, oh, so like you're the top dog now, right? You means you need and then they're trying to trick him into giving up the bigger room because Winston gets stuck with the small room, and he's trying to convince
you cut
Schmidt
off for a second there. I think you so repeat like the last 5 seconds or so. So he was sorry.
Okay.
You just completely cut off for about 2 seconds. So.
Oh, okay. So Winston's trying to convince Schmidt that the small room is the top dog room, and that if Schmidt's the top dog, he should take the small room. Trying to get the big room back. That was what that scene was. And in this one, she's like, I need some of my stuff. And then he's like, let's just talk. Let's just make things okay. And she's like, how is Rochelle? And he's like, she's great. And like, we have a lot in common. We both love bikes, just as I love bikes. And Spencer's basically like, not enough. And she's like, Spencer, I need all my stuff back. And he goes, of course, I would have brought it today, but I rode my bike, without the basket. And she's like, when's a good time to come over? And he's just basically like, it's good to see you. And she's like, I really need my stuff. And he goes, shh, I need something too. which is driving him and the girl he cheated on Jess with to the airport. And she does
Right.
it.
Yeah, let's see. Let me. Here. Yeah, this is. No, I wanted to say something about this before we go too far. The car they're driving in is probably I want to say I'm not an expert on Volvos. It's a Volvo. I believe it was built in the late 60s. So, and the one thing I like when a TV show does this, it's a car it's has a distinct look. It's not new, and it gives the characters the people our main heroes in the show more character when they drive something like this instead of driving some new car that's kind of bland. It looks like everything else, and it's not a car. They chose a car that has that kind of look, but not so much that it stands out. It's like you're looking at the car itself. Like if you were to put like an old Gremlin. I don't know if you know what a Gremlin is, but a Gremlin would really stand out, and people would be more attracted to the car rather than the characters. So I just want to say I really like it when TV shows do that, when they give the main characters in the car a car that gives them more character, and I just want to throw that in. So cool. I can tell though the car itself though is kind of not in best running condition, because if you look real carefully you can see it's blowing blue smoke, so it's probably got some engine.
I didn't notice that.
So getting back to the show, so he's taking her. That's the new girlfriend in the back.
Yep, to the airport.
Oh, okay, that's right. The airport, yeah.
Yeah. So then she's like, decides that she's going to try and buy a TV. Yeah. But she definitely doesn't have the money for that.
Oh yes, the pawn shop, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm gonna write down a number for this TV. And he's like, you just drew a smiley face. And he's like, and then she tries to steal it, but she can't because it's so heavy and she's so small.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't go home without a TV.
Yeah.
There you go. It does not work.
And he says, are you trying to steal that?
Yeah. Then Nick's trying to watch the game on his phone. Which, there you go. That's how you can really tell what year it is.
Yeah.
By the phone.
Yeah. So, all right. So, what's the ring? What's the significance?
Thumb ring. No, he just thinks it's cool, but he's trying to be the top dog. The top dog wears like cool rings and things. He's like, do you think I'm a head baller, shot caller? And Nick's like, yes, Schmidt, I feel that way. He's like, it's my new thumb ring. It's so nectar. And Nick's like, did you just make up nectar? And he's like, what is Winston doing in there? He can't hang out in there. It's too small. Just because it's driving him crazy.
Does the top dog thing keep on going throughout the series? Or
no. He's just messing with them.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they're coming in to talk about it. And Nick's like, get mad, punch the pillow, pretend it's Spencer.
All right. They can't believe that she gave a ride to the airport.
Yeah, that was bad. That was real bad. And she's like, I'm angry. And then she's like, I'm going to get my stuff. I'm going to ask you to come with me because seriously, it's a lot of stuff and I can't carry it all. So then they're trying to go get our stuff and listening to, I guess, Winston had a mixtape or something, like a psych up tape. And so they go try first and she can't stop. She keeps going. And first pass.
Oh, is that what it's going? Oh, okay.
She kept circling the block because she couldn't make herself stop.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. I'm glad you saw that because I didn't understand what's going on. Okay, thank you. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. She couldn't make herself stop, so she kept just driving around the block.
Okay. So eventually she does come to a stop here. So.
Yep. One of those songs is just much better.
Yeah. And yeah.
Then she ends up hugging him, and then she sees that he let the plants die. Yeah. And she's like,
is she really that much shorter than him? Wow.
Yeah, she's short, and he's real tall.
I was gonna ask, is she really tiny or is he?
I mean, she is kind of short, but he's like super tall.
Okay.
And I think she might be on a step. No, maybe she's not on a step. I think he's just super tall.
Yeah. kind of
And
I was
then
like my dad's like 6 feet, his wife is 5'1", so that
okay.
the difference is not that much. That's even greater than that. So, but it's a
Yeah.
noticeable difference when they're standing together sometimes. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
but yeah, so yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah. No, so Jess is like, I told you to water the plants. And he's just like, that's not my thing. Like he didn't care at all. So that's what the catalyst that does it for her. So she runs in the house and goes to get her stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So and then they hit him. One of them slaps him across the face.
Yeah, Schmidt does.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Give me that shirt." And I don't know why it takes them all so long to get out of the car and help her carry that giant ass TV and all of that stuff. Like,
I was thinking the same thing.
get
Yeah.
out of the
What?
car, guys. What are you doing? Like, she's clearly holding a TV, and they're all like, "Don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it." In my head, I'm like, guys, get out of the car and help her carry this stuff.
I
They
mean, there
don't
was
get out of the car until she tosses the TV on the ground.
it was like the first episode. I was like they were so willing to be help her, and then this one they're like, nope, no, we'll just sit in the car.
I know. I was like, why are they not getting out of the car? Like, help.
So, and so I'm looking. I paused it here so we could see the shirt. So
Yeah.
Ms. Day's Jamboree.
Yeah.
So is this actually her
Jamboree.
shirt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her shirt. And then they're like, "Oh, she's gonna drop it. She's gonna drop it." And
Yes.
she's like,
Got
"Hey, that's my shirt." He goes, "No, this is my shirt." And she's like, "No, it has my name on it."
Did
And then
oh,
yeah.
he eventually takes it off himself. Okay, I forgot that.
Well, no, I think they all like make him take it off. So they're like taking all the stuff, and Cece goes into the house to get the rest of her stuff.
Okay.
And then he's like trying to be like, you shouldn't live with these people. They're crazy. You should stay here until you find a better place to live. And she's like, no, I have a place to live. And she's like, let's see, what did she say exactly? She's like, I've got a place to live, Spence. It's over. I spent 6 years trying to figure you out. All you are is a guy with really beautiful hair. I'm happy you cheated on me. Thank you. Because if you hadn't, I would have ended up marrying you, and then you would have hurt me all over again. And yeah, I was scared to start over. I didn't know what to do. And yeah, I'm living with 3 guys I met on the internet. And yes, stranger danger is real. But I love these guys. I barely know them. I just met him, but I love them. All of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But
And
he
then
does.
they're all like put on hats and like come at me.
What was the whole thing with the hats there? They were like
They're just putting on the hats. I don't even know why they decided to put the hats on, but they're just trying to get Spencer to give him the shirt. And then Schmidt does slap him. And anytime Schmidt slaps somebody, he says, "You got some Schmidt on your face." And it just makes me laugh every time. So he eventually gives up the shirt.
Yes. Oh, that was it. Okay, that was it. Okay.
Yeah, that's it there.
Okay. So and then what's I forgot his name
Winston.
already. Yeah, at the beginning he didn't want to put the hat on, and eventually he did.
Yeah.
So, to join in with the.
I mean, a little bit of peer pressure, but still fun.
So, all right. So we come back to the house.
Yeah, and then
I'm sorry, the apartment.
Yeah, the apartment. And then Winston's like, "I was messing with you. You can keep the big room. I'm sorry." And then Schmidt's like, "No, I know you were doing this on purpose. I'm taking the smaller room, the top dog room." And Winston's like, "All right." When he was literally just messing with him to try and get the big room back.
And then the TV, they put the TV up, and
it's a little wobbly, but because she threw it on the ground. But it works.
It works, yes. So, and actually, they probably could have just, well, I don't know, since they're using duct tape to try to fix it, they probably wouldn't know that you could probably just mount it on a wall. So
yeah, no. Yeah. So then she's like, I've got some DVDs, Adventures of Babysitting, Prancer, Newsies, Curly Sue, and all the guys are like, I'm going out. And Jess is like, wait, where are you going? These are heartwarming films. And then Schmidt comes back in, Curly Sue, let's do this. And they sit and watch the movie.
Yeah.
They all leave, and then Schmidt comes back.
So how would you rate this episode?
I don't know. You asked me to rate them, and I keep thinking about it, but at the same time, like I'm not gonna be partial about this because I love it. I just absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite shows, and it just makes me smile. Like you can probably hear it in my voice. Like I just love it.
Okay.
um, and I don't know how to give a partial review of fantastic.
Okay. I would say I would give it the same rating as the first one. It didn't seem like it was any better or any worse. So about the same.
Okay.
So, but as far as though, let me ask this: as far as the significance of how this episode relates to the series as a whole, do you think it's essential? Is it like it's just like
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It shows her growing a little bit with the help of the guys that she was reluctant to go face Spencer, and she didn't do well on her own, but with her group of friends with her, she was able to do it. And it's kind of I don't know if she would need them eventually, she might be able to get her stuff back, but it's always easier to do hard things with your friends.
hmm, hmm.
Now she's got a whole new group of friends.
All right. Okay. So we can start on. Did you want us to jump into the third episode, or did you want to? How did you want to do this? We can jump into that one like that, but I haven't watched the whole thing, so it's up to
No,
you.
that's okay. We don't have to. Let's check the poll. See
Okay.
where we're at.
Cool. Alrighty. So let's wrap everything up for the show first. So overall, I would say this show seems interesting.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it would keep my attention though in the long haul. So
Okay.
like I said, I've always liked Zoe though, so that's the main thing. If it was someone else in that role, I may not be as interested in watching it. But
Okay.
she's always been someone I've always liked watching. So, but as far as being interested in watching it all the way to the very end, like the shows you've introduced me to so far, the first one you did was Ted Lasso. That one
Yes.
definitely had my interest, and I would say I would be interested more. I have not watched another episode yet. That doesn't mean I won't, but it definitely had me interested to see where that went. This one was like, well, it doesn't seem to really have any so far, based on the first 3 episodes. It doesn't seem to have an idea where the show is going.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't really have a specified direction. It's just kind of about their lives.
Okay. So would you say it's like kind of like Seinfeld, like a show about nothing, or is it
Kind of, yeah.
kind of okay? Okay.
But with
I just-
people that are not as terrible as the people in Seinfeld, because they all end up in jail with good reason.
No, okay. All
I
right.
mean, did you not know that's how Seinfeld ends?
No,
I'm
no,
sure you
yeah,
did.
I did. Yeah, for a second there, I thought you were talking about this show for a second. Yeah, I know. Yes, I remember the ending of Seinfeld. But yeah, so, but the as far as this show, you have watched it to the very, very end. You said correct. So you
Yes.
know okay, and as far as if you choose to give anything away, that's fine. As far as the show itself, does it wrap up very nicely? Does it have a nice conclusion? I know
Yes.
you said some of those later episodes you said were kind of odd in some way. I can't remember what you
Yeah,
said.
I mean, they were unnecessary, is what it was. People were just like, "We want more, we want more, and we want more," and the network was like, "All right, we'll give you a few extra episode orders." But like, it ends fairly well, I thought. But on at the end of season 6, like, kind of wraps everything up. But they just kind of took it that extra step in season 7 to give like a little bit more for a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and it's not really necessary. The story works fine without it. But I mean,
Mhm.
it's kind of fun, but it's not the best.
It sounds to me like there's always I've always heard I've not always heard this, but I've heard people say that it's always good to have a show end when it's on a high.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a show like the prime example people give is The Simpsons TV show, which has been going on and on. It just gets
Yeah.
there's a few people that still watch it, but it's just the ratings are just ridiculously low compared to what it used to be. So, and yeah, it's like why don't you just cancel or whatever. It's like it's long lived its purpose. It should be put out. And this show, it sounds like it went out probably just maybe they could have just ended slightly earlier than what they did. They should
Yeah.
based on what you're saying about those few episodes. So okay. And overall, I obviously you like it, so you would most likely recommend it for anybody, I assume.
I would, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, cool. And yeah, I think the show's good, and I would definitely say it's would be good. But like I said, I'm not sure if I would be interested in watching it on a regular basis. So that's how I feel about it. Alrighty, so let's check our question from earlier. We got refresh it one more time. 68 votes so far. 53% with yes. Have you ever lived with roommates? 29% with no, and do 18% pretty high. That's pretty so I guess what you said earlier about the parents, that's beginning to be a more common thing. Yeah, 18%.
Yeah.
That's I think it's pretty high right there. So
Mhm.
18%. And share your comments, crazy story in the comments. So we have one person so far. Did you want to read that?
Yeah, it started off as nice and quiet, but after a month, them fools started smoking meth. I will never do roommates again. Yeah, that's pretty bad roommate.
Yeah, especially if you live in a state where they have civil asset forfeiture. Like if I don't know if they would ever repossess a house, but if you have someone who has meth in your car and you get pulled over and they see it, the cops will seize the car and you'll never get it back. So it's not a good thing to have. Virginia is very notorious for that. The cops love to seize things. They find drugs in it. It's like, yep, it's ours. You can't have it back. So
That's
it's
interesting.
not a good idea if you live in a state where they have that stuff. Some states have outlawed it completely, but I know
Yeah.
Virginia is one of the worst states for it. So
Huh. Wow.
I do know my sister. I have a cousin came to visit, and he was smoking pot on her deck. Now this is before any state made pot legal. So, and she was like afraid to say anything to him, and it's and I personally I'm not against anyone smoking pot, but still there's the legal aspect of it. Of
Yeah,
course.
for sure.
I don't know. It's I don't know how you would address that situation. For me, I'd be like, you need to stop doing that because my thought is, I don't know what the neighbors are going to say. I don't know what's going to happen. So, but yeah, I'd probably tell them to stop in that kind of situation, especially with the meth. Yeah, that'd have to go at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I don't want to deal with any legal aspects as far as what might happen because I did live in a house where I rented a room for quite a few years. And I don't know for sure, but there was a constant aroma that came in once in a while. I believe it was marijuana. I'm not 100% sure, but it would come through it would just, my room would just start smelling like that. And I believe what was happening is the person above me was smoking it, and it would just come through the ventilation and come into my room. So I don't know if it is, but I'm pretty sure it was. So I've never smoked. I've never had anything like that. So I don't know. I can't tell you for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what I smelled on a regular basis.
Okay.
I couldn't say anything because I was just a tenant in the house. So it wasn't my house. So, but
Yeah.
I have had a situation like that. Whatever it was definitely there. It would be there, and then like the odor would go away, and then like about a few days later come back again. So it definitely was. It would definitely smell like something that was being maybe inhaled, something that would be used to inhale in some way. So
Interesting.
the only other roommate situation I had was when I actually owned my first house. I allowed someone to move in, and it was technically a roommate, but he was also a tenant. So he came in. I let him live in one of the bedrooms, and after the first month, he paid the rent. After that, he didn't pay rent at all. And so eventually, it was 3 or 4 months went by, no rent. So I just locked him out, and I wouldn't let him back in. And then eventually I sold the house, and then that's when I let him back in to get his stuff. I never got the money, never got the rent money. So
Wow.
it's just I guess I could have gone after him and got him, but I just figured it was what the hassle. I just didn't want to deal with it, so I just let him do his thing. So after that, like this person said here, I never want to do the roommate thing ever again. So just not a good thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure there's. I mean, I know when I rented a room, I was always on time with my rent because my thought was, if I'm late on any bills, it's the one thing you don't ever want to be late on is rent, because then you don't have a place to live. So
right.
the idea of being late on rent was something I was always on time with my rent. And even the one time I think I was late, I even went to the landlord and said, "Hey, is it okay if I'm like 2 weeks late?" He said, "Oh yeah, sure, don't worry about it." So it's like no big deal, because I lived there for 13 years, and I can't imagine. I think it was like once or twice I was late, and then of course he was like, "Oh, of course you can be late. That's fine. Just because it was like I was on time, so all the other times I don't think he really cared. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, those are my roommate stories. So,
Okay.
all right. So, did you ever you didn't say your side? Did you ever?
I have had roommates. I've lived with my sister and her boyfriend, who is now her husband. I've lived with my best friend. And I have also lived with two different people that I didn't know before I moved in with them, and that was in Spain. Yeah, and in Spain, my Spanish roommate, she would always call me MacGyver, and like I guess she didn't really know like how to fix things, anything. Like I don't know, I've always been able to use tools and stuff, fix random things around the house. So like anytime anything would break, she would always bring it to me and I would fix it. And like I don't know, it's never was anything like crazy complicated, like a chair leg or something, or fixing the Wi-Fi, or like I don't know, but she always thought I could fix anything, and there was nothing ever horrible about that. It was a pleasant thing. I would just be the person to fix everything.
So did she call you MacGyver based on a TV show from the 80s?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a mullet?
I did not. No. Thank God.
Which Richard Dean Anderson had a very much sported a very
yeah.
mullet. So, if I dated a woman like a couple of times, once or twice, it wasn't very much. I do. I spent some time at her, like one of the times I was over at her house, and she said she didn't know how to change a light bulb, and I said, really? So I just walked up and pulled it out and replaced it for her. So it was like it's not that, it wasn't that hard. Yeah, it was just like you just reach over and replace it. It reminds me of what you just said with your situation. It's like that doesn't seem that hard. It wasn't even like it required any tools. You just
you just switch it.
Just screw the light bulb out and put the new one in. So, but anyway, that wasn't really a roommate situation because I didn't. It was just we only went out a few times. It wasn't long term or anything like that. So, but I can imagine the person that eventually she ended up with somebody is constantly. She was probably just like your roommate there, just constantly asking him to, please, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? So,
yeah.
So, alrighty. Anything you'd like to add to that?
No, not a moment.
Okay. So cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. Oh, wait, I forgot to do? Right to hit the newest thing. Nope.
There you go.
There, so we're still good. Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, everyone, for participating in our little survey there and watching and listening us to talk about the show New Girl. And, and if you'd like to support us as usual, you can always do so by clicking on the NordVPN link that's in the description. And below that, you'll find Rachel's, the group. I put the link in there already. Could you just have that one time?
It's a nonprofit organization, Literacy Connections of the Hudson Valley. We recruit and train volunteers to teach people how to read and write in English. So people that have never had the opportunity to learn, people that are learning English for the first time, or people that the school system has left behind. And we are always looking for volunteers. If you're in the Hudson Valley, check us out. If you're not in the Hudson Valley, please feel free to check us out anyway and send us a donation if you can. We can always use the help. Our services are entirely free and we are run on grants and donations.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'll leave the link in there. And from now on, if you'd like, we can always put that in the description on future videos too, if that helps you out any. So
totally. That's
cool.
Great.
Cool. Alrighty. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
See you then.